What's the most "are you really that stupid" thing you've ever heard? I knew a couple in my hometown. They were both out drinking and he decided to drive them home. Both drunk. He gets pulled over and they impound the car and take him to jail for a DUI, and the officers decide to drive the girl home. She gets home, gets in her car, and drives to the police station to pick her boyfriend up. The officers notice it's the same girl they just drove home and they arrested her for drinking and driving. #X200B, edit, thanks for the gold. To further add to this story, my hometown within the county was ranked top 10 for least educated counties in CA to give everybody an idea. Edit 2, Tulare County. Edit 3, one girl's stupid drunkenness is another man's Reddit gold. Thanks for the second gold. I actually just posted about this a couple days ago. My grandpa's cleaning lady was making fun of me for believing that the ozone layer exists. She laughed out loud at me and said, "Then how do the rockets take off from Earth without crashing into it?" And continue to laugh and make fun of me for it for a good 10 minutes straight. I was so baffled that I just let her go on. Edit, holy heck. How do you drive through a storm without crashing on the weather front? Former co-worker of mine and I were walking through a department store during the holidays. There's an area dedicated to ugly sweaters and one had the Star of David all over it. My coworker points to it and says, "Oh, isn't that sweater for that Jewish holiday? What's it called? Holocaust." I wish her the best. My family and I were watching a program on TLC about cavemen. There were actors dressed up like cavemen, doing cavemen things, as the narrator explained the scientific theory around what they thought their lives were like. My sister was just in awe watching this. Mouth slightly open, eyes open wide. During a commercial break she asked the room, "How do they get the cameras back there?" We will never let her forget that she said that. Edit, here's some common answers for questions people have asked. No, she was not high. She was about 16 when she said this. The moment she said it, she knew she said something stupid. Tried to backpedal but the damage was already done. Yes, back a long time ago TLC actually did have educational programming. I have no idea what documentary it was. I had a customer yell at me that their donuts were supposed to be buy one get one free instead of half price. I had to explain how 12 plus 12 was 1. Never understood it and just sneered whatever at me and had me cancel their order. Sure, my mistake. I can refund you the $3.99 and ring you up with the correct discount. Okay, with the discount your new total is $3.99. Edit, I regret my choice of $3.99 to illustrate the technique. When I worked at a chemical facility, we had a genius production supervisor who figured out that you could increase the RPMs of the mixer without overheating the batch if you just remove the mixing blade, so it's just a shaft rotating inside a drum of viscous liquid. Then he blamed the guy running the QA testing, me, when the batch failed badly. Perfect example of somebody trying to improve something based on incomplete criteria. Well, if it runs at 10,000 revolutions per minute for 10 minutes, can't we just run it at 100,000 revolutions per minute for 1 minute? Well, if you take 9 pregnant women, you can get a baby in 1 month. I always use something similar when a client misses a deadline and they want us to throw people on it to fix their screw up when we have to do our part. I say it takes 4 hours to drive to Chicago from here. You're not going to get there in 1 hour by taking 4 cars. But what if all the cars are really big? So big that they're already in both places at once and you cut the travel time to 0? Brilliant. This middle-aged woman I work with at a fast food place was drinking a glass of super sweet tea when these words came out of her mouth: "My doctor said that I may have diabetes. I don't understand how, I never eat sugar. Look at this tea. Do you see any sugar in it? I only put the sugar in. It disappears so I don't eat it." Meanwhile, watching a semi-friend do 10 separate ATM transactions. Why are you taking out $200 from the ATM in $20 increments? You are just adding up the $2.50 fee. Semi-friend, it all adds up in the long run. Me, no shit, it adds up to you wasting money. Semi-friend, no, trust me, it adds up. Maybe they thought they were getting 2.50 instead of paying it. It was explained to him over and over for months, he still just argues that the money adds up in the end. Well, he is technically right. Those fees really do add up. Someone once asked me and my twin sister if we don't mistake ourselves for the other one. I'd like to think she was joking, but I don't think she was. I've posted this before, but my grandmother was an identical twin. Her sister passed away before I was born. She didn't like to tell stories from when she was little, but she did tell me one mistaken identity story. She was in their bedroom one night when they were really young and saw her sister through the window. She started talking to her sister to see why she was outside at night. Then she realized it was her reflection. My grandmother had mistaken herself for her twin. Phone customer, can I pay with cash over the phone? Me. Edit, this was more than 10 years ago, before cryptocurrency existed. I was working at a call center, making reservations for a dinner and show type place. If they reserved online or over the phone, they had to prepay. I asked this customer if I heard them correctly and she varied that yes, she would like to pay with cash over the phone. There was nothing but seriousness in her tone. I informed her she could pay with cash at the box office, however, over the phone I could only accept a credit card. I did not laugh at her or make her feel stupid, but inside I was dying. Sure, champ, just read me off the serial numbers of all the bills. Puts phone down and walks away. Girl at uni didn't know chips were made from potatoes. When asked if the huge potatoes on the bags didn't give it away, she said she thought it's only for design and she never reads the ingredients list, she doesn't have time for that. Reminds me of a coworker who was vegetarian and said lettuce is the potato chip of the vegetarian world. We replied back with, potato chips are the potato chip of the vegetarian world. Explaining to coworker that Africa is a huge continent with dozens of countries. And no, you can't drive there from America. Drive to Alaska. Get a car ferry to Russia. Drive down through Asia to the Middle East and get to Egypt. Max 4 to 5 hour drive. Small problem is there are no roads near the Rus border. Who needs roads? During a color war trivia game at summer camp, we were asked to name places the Olympics has been held. Someone mentioned Athens and the girl next to me started to lose her mind laughing. I asked her why and she responded, "Is in Athens that place from Harry Potter?" 1010 Edit, I love that this turned into a Greek economy discussion thread. The internet works in mysterious ways. What place from Harry Potter did she think she was referring to? Azkaban? I did my waiting. 12 years of it. In Athens. Well, that doesn't sound that bad. My friend thought due to time zone differences between the US and the UK you could place a bet in the UK on an NFL game that had happened in the US and cheat the system because it hadn't happened yet in the UK. A surprising amount of people in my life have thought that ham came from its own animal and had nothing to do with pigs. At least 2 of those people had this conversation while eating a ham sandwich after claiming not to eat pork. Edit, to everyone telling me that they make ham out of turkey, 2, these people thought there was some mystical animal out there that solely produced ham. Edit 2, KM done now. Replies are turned off. Sure, Lisa. A wonderful, magical animal. Do girls in your country get their periods? I was on a school trip to Germany and we visited the casino in Baden-Baden. One kid asked, do the Native Americans run the casinos here too? I almost fell over. Edit, I've seen a lot of people ask why a school trip went to a casino. We just visited it during the day as a part of our day in Baden-Baden because of its historical significance. Since it was during the day there were no games being played and it was a guided tour. None of the kids gambled. Would be pretty funny if they actually did. Not American Native Americans, obviously. This would be the Native Americans who are from Germany. Someone in high school thought she couldn't get pregnant because she never did anal, only PIV sex. When questioned about it, it made perfect sense to her, because the vagina isn't where the babies come from. She thought women pooped out babies. While in high school sex ed, I heard a student ask the teacher if I pee inside her, she won't get pregnant because it'll kill the sperm. Teacher said something like, first of all, no, that doesn't work. Second, who would let you pee inside them? Second, who would let you pee inside them? Someone in the back sheepishly raises her hand. Biological mom of our former foster son, talking to his court-appointed lawyer, guardian ad litem, he doesn't need to go to the doctor. All babies get ear infections. She had zero idea that he could suffer from hearing loss if she ignored them enough times, not to mention how miserable he felt. It seems like a lot of people don't know this. When people learn I'm deaf in one ear from an ear infection that popped an eardrum when I was 3, I get a lot of weight, you can go deaf from that? Likewise, my stepson's mom got a lazy eye from untreated pink eye. Her mom is a nurse. What?